welcome to another one of our program here, Morning Mania. This is your boy Rolando. We are so glad that you continue to be a part of the conversation here. We do want to say thank you. You have been with us now. We are at day number 13 in this new year of 2022 right now, believe it or not. Our weather network is reporting that it is a cool minus 12, feels like minus 16 here in northern Alberta. And so we are warming up. There's just a freezing fog warning that is out, and these things come with the territory as you're living in this province here in western Canada. How's the weather where you are located? How have you been keeping yourself safe? What are some of those things that you have accomplished so far for the new year? Are you on track? Remember, as we said, we are not talking about a New Year's resolution, but a life transformation. And I wonder if you've been reflecting on how you're going to be doing that as you progress into this new and untried year. I also want to continue to send appreciation and shout out to those who have been faithfully downloading, liking, sharing, and commenting. We just want to continue to encourage you to please go ahead and write a comment right here in the app on Podbean or iTunes or on Spotify. Let us know how you feel. Let us know how these podcast episodes have been helping you as you go through your daily task. I'm also here, and I just want to remind you and say thank you as well to all those who have been patrons of XY Spark. You have been faithfully month after month making your donations towards the program that we're doing here. And wherever you are, and whatever amount you have committed to contributing to our podcast, we appreciate you. We also want to acknowledge all those who have been sponsors of XY Spark, for the different companies. We are sending a huge shout out to you. And wherever you are located around the world, if you're in places like Russia, if you're in places like Korea and China in the United Kingdom, or France, or Italy, or Belgium, or you're down there in Australia, we want to send a shout out to you down there in Australia and places like New Zealand. We appreciate, love you 100%. And for our regular listeners here in Canada and across the United States, those who are down there in places like Texas, we want to say a huge shout out to you as well. In South America and places in the Caribbean, the program would not be the same without you. And we just encourage you to continue to share what we're doing here on XY Spark with more men as we seek to provide a safe space where men can come and just be men and enjoy, or rather engage in meaningful conversation designed to get you on your way. The program is Morning Mania, and the theme for today is Transformation Thursday for men on their way. Morning Mania is a program designed to provide a meal in the morning for men on the move with daily motivation, inspiration, and life coaching tips that seek to motivate, empower, and nurture a changed mindset. I am your boy and men's life coach, Rolando. Transformation Thursday. Many of us as men, we are quite aware that something needs to change. Many of us as men, we are very, very mindful that the way things are going right now, the path that we are on right now, unless we do a radical shift, in the way we are approaching problem solving, in the way we are coping with life stresses, in the way we are treating ourselves as men, then the chances of us being transformed are second to none. This morning, today, I want to be very real with you and help you to recognize that whatever it is that you are doing, that you need to change, that you need to get away from, it is not going to happen by sitting around and throwing your hands in the air and making excuses. As men, if we are going to be transformed, we have to be willing to let go of our egocentrism. We have to be willing to let go of the pride that we have been holding on to. We have to be willing to let go of this idea that we have in our heads that we don't want anyone to know or to hear or to see us in that state. And sometimes our refusal to come out of our comfort zones and ask for help is what is destroying us from the inside out. Transformation Thursday is about making an appeal to every man, wherever you are, whatever your culture is, whatever your spiritual orientation is, whatever your class, race, color, or ethnicity is. We are saying to you here at XY Spot that if you are going to be transformed, you are going to have to be willing to push against the norms of that culture, the norms of that society, the norms of what your partner is expecting, the norms of what your parents are expecting. You have got to push back at that cultural perspective and open yourself up to the possibility that there is something that needs to be different. The fact is that everyone wants to achieve, but no one or very few wants to participate in the work that's needed for the transformation to occur. There are so many different barriers that kills the possibility of transformation. Culture is one of those barriers. And for some of us, if we are going to be transformed, we are going to have to be willing to break away from some of those cultural curses that has kept us trapped in a cocoon of self-doubt and self-defeating behaviors. We have to acknowledge it for what it is and recognize that unless I am willing to push against that cultural curse that was handed down to me from my dad, from my mom, from my grandfather, from a mentor, from a community in which I was raised, unless we're willing to push against that, then the transformation is going to be so much more difficult. Big point number two is that if transformation is going to occur, we have to be willing to let go of our own preconceived notions. For some of us as men, we know too much, yet we know nothing. And we have to allow ourselves to become coachable and teachable and reachable if we're going to be transformed. Sometimes as men, we are not coachable, we're not teachable, and we're not allowing anyone to reach us because we have walls that we have set up. And these walls are interfering with our ability to be transformed. So, big point number two is we have got to learn to let go of our own preconceived notions so that we can be transformed. Big point number three is that if we are going to be transformed, we have got to ask ourselves this question before we make every decision. Am I doing this now out of ego or humility? Am I doing this out of ego or humility? Is this decision too impulsive? Do I need to step back and engage and reflect before I react? You see, some of us as men, we like to make impulsive decisions, and those impulsive decisions oftentimes are coming out of a place of egocentrism that is killing our ability to be transformed. So, today being Transformation Thursday, I would like you to think about, where have I been stuck? Where have I been spending too much time? Are you stuck in that headspace where you are running with all the opinions of those around you? You're running with the opinions of your partner. You're running with the opinions of your parents, who might have said to you, you're a failure, you're no good, you'll never make it, you're a bad dad, you're a terrible friend, you're a bad employee. What have you been holding on to that has been holding you back from transformation? Today, I want to speak life into you, and I want to say to you that if you are going to be transformed, let it not be that you are not engaging in this process because you have been holding on to the opinion of the crowd. You got life in you. You got power in you. You got hope in you. You've got strength in you. You are going to make it. You have value. You have power. You have a sense of well being. You might have not gotten it right the first time, but you are going to get it the second time around. You might not have done it the second time, but you're going to get it the third time around. You see, the truth and the reality is that you cannot forget that there is no option but to go forward. Quitting is not a part of your mentality. So I want you to reflect on this thought today as you go. Remember that if I am going to be transformed, I have to be willing to let go of my own preconceived notions. If I'm going to be transformed, I've got to be teachable and reachable and coachable. If I'm going to be transformed, I've got to allow myself to fall in line and become engaged in a different environment to develop a new mindset. So I want you to repeat this thought after me. In order for transformation to come to fruition, I have to have determination. In order for transformation to come to fruition, I must have determination. Thank you for being here with us again on XY Spark. This is your men's life coach, Rolando. And we want to say to you that at XY Spark, we believe that there is a spark in you.
Please join Rolando next time on XY Spark as he engages us in practical discussions that promotes healthy masculinity and challenge men to live extraordinary lives. At XY Spark, we believe the key for happier families is restoring healthy masculinity.